Joe Lynch. We're here at Billboard. I'm here with Kristin Chenoweth, which is incredibly exciting. Thank you.
I'm honored that you're
here.
the one doing it. This is going to be great.
That's sweet of you to say that.
True.
You're such a good liar. Anyways, so, well, first off, you look incredible. Great outfit.
Thank you.
And you have a new album that just came out last week, The Art of Elegance. And that's a lot of American songbook standards. So, like, what brought you to those songs?
I kept making a list of songs I always wanted to sing, and the list kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I thought, it's living in this standard world, which is how I cut my teeth when I was a young singer in Oklahoma, believe it or not, at OCU. And my teacher introduced me to composers like Gershwin, and I just didn't. I listened to Garth Brooks and Dolly Parton and Sandy Patty. So this was cool to cut my teeth and learn on this stuff, and it's been what's in my heart. However, I want to say the lyrics and the melodies are so deep that I don't know if I was in my 20s if it would have been the same, if it would have meant the same to me now in my 40s.
You don't think you would have been like mature enough to?
I just think I understand a little bit more now. I mean, we've all done the hurting and been hurt, right?
Right.
So now it's a little more understandable to sing some of this.
Totally.
You know?
And I mean, a lot of those songs, like the Gershwin and Cole Porters, they've been sung by Ella Fitzgerald and Frank Sinatra. Is it a little imposing to take on stuff that, the greats of all time have sang?
It is, Joe, but one thing I did is I just stopped listening to everybody. Like, I love Nat King Cole. That was my mom's favorite singer, and I would hear him growing up, and The Very Thought of You was, played a lot in our house. And I know there were different versions, and I just decided I love them all. Everybody put their stamp on it, but I have to now do mine. And I have a pretty good ear at imitating, and I didn't want to imitate. I wanted to be mine. So I kind of quit listening to everybody. Everybody do any version of these songs, and worked on them on my own.
And how long did it take to make this album?
From start to finish, I mean, I've been thinking about it and working on it for about a year. So, in my world, I'm so used to cast albums or even albums I've done in the past of my own that are like, okay, we've got a week, we've got a month. And this one, my producer, Steve Tyrell, just kept hammering away at me. Do it again, and on your next break. And I was moving and on tour, and every break I had, I was in that studio.
Okay, so a lot of these songs, like we're saying, from the 40s, 50s, do you think, are there any current songs now, on the radio or recently, that you think 70 years from now people are still going to be singing and treating as standards?
Oh, sure. I think one of the singers that's here to stay that we will be honoring as a classic singer and her own music is Adele. Yes. She harkens back. Reason people love her is she's the real deal. She sings live and she writes a lot of her own stuff, but she somehow in her voice, we feel that she's heartbroken, sad, happy, feel her moods. That's what Patsy Cline did amazingly well. I think that's what a lot of great singers, remember Macy Gray? I loved her voice. There's only one of her. Right. And that's how I feel about Adele. And so I think anything she sings, I don't know, it's here to stay.
Have you ever met her in person?
I did meet her once, and I could not speak. It's how I felt.
So she made you nervous.
She made me nervous, and I had actually requested to interview her. I was doing on the Oscars one night, I was singing, but they also asked me to do the red carpet thing, which is not really my wheelhouse or comfort zone. But I said, if I get to interview Adele, then I'll do it. Okay. Her and Sally Field, those were my two requirements. And I got to meet her, and she's as lovely and down to earth as you can imagine. And I heard last night at her concert, she said, and I wanted to go so bad, but she said, people, when I go away, I'm going away to write my music and to live my life. And when I come back, I hope you're still there to listen, but that's what I'm doing when I go away. And I respected that a lot,
Right, she does her own thing.
She does her own thing. She has an air of not really caring.
Yeah.
But she does, because she's sensitive. Listen to her singing, but I wish I could be that cool. I care. I really care.
Well, I want to open it up. If anyone has a question out there watching on Facebook Live, we got one?
Yeah. What was a big moment for you where you knew you had your big break?
Oh, wow. People say there are little mini steps, like the first time I got to play Broadway, the first time I got to play Carnegie Hall. Those are big moments, right? But for me, it was it was for me when I did You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown on Broadway, and this is way back before most people watching were born. It was 1999, and I ended up winning a Tony Award for that role, but I never saw that coming. It was like a sniper from the side in a good way. There was 6 people in it. I played Sally, Charlie Brown's little sister, and I remember the reviews. My doctor, that tells you a lot about me, called me. He said, have you read your review yet? And I said, I don't think I'm going to do it. And he said, go get the New York Times. So I did, and my life changed overnight. And that's when I was like, holy crap, we're on, it's on.
And what did it feel like to win that Tony?
Surreal. For so long, I grew up in Oklahoma just watching the Tonys. All we had was Miss America and the Tony Awards.
Yeah.
Now we have awards shows for, hey, you got the cutest outfit awards. I think, I think that it's.
You might win that today.
Really? I did bring out the Valentino for you.
Good. Yeah.
Thank you. And you did comment on my shoes, which
I did, yeah. Let's get those on camera, because those are just fantastic.
Aren't they the
Sparkly.
cutest?
Perfect.
I
Really.
know, I love them. They're filthy inside, but I love them.
Yeah, let's not put that.
Let's not.
We got another Facebook Live.
Prison mail coming my way. Oops.
What as a performer are you still trying to learn?
I mean, how long's the show? Because I got
As long as you need.
so much I'm trying to learn. One of the things that's happening to my voice now, and it's shocking as I speak to think that I have any low notes, but it's coming. It's getting deeper. And on this album, I'm kind of, people know that I'm a coloratura soprano and that I can belt and high and all that, but I don't think even I understood the depth or how low I was singing. And I think it comes through life and age and all that, but I'm trying to understand that and embrace it because that's new material. It's actually fun, but I'm still learning.
Can you go low? Like, can you speak low if you try?
I thought I was. This is my low voice. Yeah, it's so funny because the speaking voice is what it is, and some people find it annoying and some people love it, but it is. I've tried to talk like this and tried many different ways to speak, but the truth is that feels false to me. So
Yeah,
this is my voice.
Totally. Let's do another question.
Is there a song off the new album that you have a personal connection to at all?
Every single one of them feel like I have. Well, when you write or when you cover something or when you say, there's something usually that you do that moves you.
Yeah.
Each one of them are special to me. There's a lot of songs on there that are new to me, not new, but new to me. I have to say, Charlie Chaplin wrote the music to this song, and this album is mostly fully orchestrated, except for this song. I chose it to be version, Singing Smile, which brought me to tears. Remember Hope Floats, that movie? It was on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm aging myself, but I think, wow, I'm a fool to want you. I'm a fool to need you. Why do I, time after time you keep hurting me, and yet I keep going back. The melody and the lyrics really moved me, and we were able to get it down. So Alan Broadbent, the amazing orchestrator from New Zealand, quickly orchestrated it, and it's one of my top 5 things on the album.
Nice. Well, one thing I wanted to ask, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, but last night was the first presidential debate. Do you watch it? What are your thoughts on it?
Okay, here's the truth, and I think I really want to say this. I wanted to watch it. I knew I had to get up at like 5:45 this morning, and I'm not a morning person, but I did DVR it. But one of the things, I started to watch it, and I got super nervous. It was like I got nervous, and I don't know why I got nervous. I think because I feel like now the presidency is being almost made fun of, and it's becoming fodder and entertainment instead of real issues. Like, we're having a conversation about it. I'm glad you brought it up. But I'm gonna have to go for the girl. I'm gonna have to go for Hillary, and not just because she's a girl, because I feel that she is the most qualified for the job. And I think that there can be some bullying going on. I just don't like it, and I got nervous. I'll probably watch it in bits and pieces, and then I'll run to the kitchen and nervous eat, and then come back and play it. Anyway, but we've got 2 more ahead of us.
You got 2 more. What made you nervous about it? Like the way
I don't want him to down talk to her.
Right.
Is
There's
that
a lot of
like?
talking over.
I just don't want. Yeah, I don't want that, and I want them to talk about real issues. Education is a big problem in our country. In Oklahoma, we're losing teachers right and left. Arts programs are being cut. I want healthcare to be up there on the top 5. I want the fight with the wall, and that's just, gun control. No one's saying we shouldn't take away our guns. I just think it's easier, it's easier to get a gun than get a driver's license. And that's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not very political. I'm just saying my opinion.
No, I appreciate you sharing with us. Do we have another?
Yeah, absolutely. So Kim says, you have an amazing eye for roles. So is there something you actually look for when you're taking on a project at all?
Yeah, that's a great question. I really like to try not to repeat myself. There's always going to be an aspect to me in every part I play because it's just, look, I'm 4'11", I sound like this. But I've gotten to play some very cool different parts, from the drunk has-been in Glee to,
fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was so fun to play somebody polar opposite. And then West Wing, polar opposite. Like, I could never work in the White House. I'd be fired immediately. To Wicked, to, Good Christian Bitches. It's been a crazy ride, but fun. It's so fun. I don't feel like I've been terribly typecast. So I just look for ways to keep challenging myself. I did a show on Promises, a sort of a depressed role that a lot of people didn't really want to see me do, but I must continue to evolve and get better.
I saw that you're doing a voice role in the upcoming My Little Pony movie.
Yes.
That's really exciting.
It's shocking, isn't it, that I'm going to be in My Little Pony? I think it's perfect.
Believe, especially with the pink sparkly shoes.
Exactly. I knew the pink My Little Pony had been around. I knew that the fan base, but getting in the room and working with these creators, it's pretty amazing. I'm glad to be a part of it myself. I think that what they continue to do, inspire, and kids love them, but so do adults.
A lot of adults watch the show.
They do.
It's just a group of positive ponies hanging out, having a good time.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong
And look
with
at
that.
SpongeBob. He's a big hit too.
Yes.
So
Yeah, absolutely. Do we want to do another Facebook question?
Yeah. We got the last one before we got to wrap up. This is the little personal.
Oh, ruh-roh.
Favorite junk food?
Oh, please. That's not personal. Combos. If you go to 7-Eleven and they have the pretzels with the cheese inside.
Flavor?
It's just cheddar cheese, but with the pretzel.
Right.
You can tell I've thought about this. It's the way I eat it too. I put it in my mouth, I roll it around and suck the salt off,
Let it melt
and then I get a little bit of the cracker. You know what? This is too much information.
We're gonna have to cut this out.
Yeah. It's very personal. I like Twizzlers too.
So send combos if you're watching. Send her a lifetime supply.
I love combos.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us and for watching, and thank you
Thank you, honey.
endlessly.
You're
It was
wonderful.
so
You're great.